After this one, there will be some additional opportunities for snow and rain between now and through the weekend. So tonight, the hours around midnight are, I think, going to be when the snow is the most widespread for Maine and the steadiest, and that will coincide with this warm front kind of edging up the coast and this area of low pressure that will parallel the Maine coast tonight, kicking east over Nova Scotia tomorrow morning. So that's why the snow gets out of here in a hurry. That low takes all of the moisture with it. But it doesn't get cold. It won't get overly cold tomorrow throughout the state. This front that's associated with it is a very weak one. So in the afternoon tomorrow, you know, it's going to be pretty mild for most of the state. High pressure will also be nearby. But this front up to the north, that'll be approaching Maine Wednesday evening. It'll be north of the Great Lakes still. What'll happen here is this area of high pressure is going to be really strong. It's going to be a big area of cold, dense air. And that high is going to work toward Maine heading into Thursday and Friday. So what that will mean for us is what's called a backdoor cold front, although this, to my eye, doesn't look completely backdoor. Like for a real traditional backdoor cold front, you would want to see one, you know, coming in almost more east to northeast rather than straight out of the north. But this one will push some colder air in on Thursday, and Thursday is kind of setting the table up for another disturbance to give us another chance for precip. It'll be this one south of the Great Lakes, and this is going to track, I think, south of Maine on Friday. So what we're doing right now on Thursday is getting the cold air in place at the surface in Maine. And that cold air comes in around this region of high pressure. And if you've noticed, you see how the arrows around the high are circulating in a clockwise fashion? Every area of high pressure, that's the way the air circulates around it. And you know, that's how this works. The air wants to flow from high to low pressure. And the reason low pressure spins the other way is because of the Coriolis effect. We're getting into the weeds right now, but the Coriolis effect says, in essence, that there is an apparent deflection to the right in the northern hemisphere based on your forward movement. So in this example, air is always going to flow from high to low pressure. That's the way air moves. That's how the pressure dictates air moves. And as this goes toward the low, the apparent deflection to the right takes the air and starts to circulate around the low in the opposite direction. So that's just a little brief reasoning as to why, you know, the counterclockwise flow is around the low pressure and the clockwise flow is around high pressure. All that being said, on Thursday, that cold front coming in from the north, pseudo backdoor cold front, is going to give Maine a very split day of weather, in that up in the county, it's plausible that temperatures in the afternoon up there are in the mid to low 20s, while in southern Maine, it's in the low 40s. And that's just by virtue of the way the front works through from north to south during the daytime hours of Thursday. So I don't think Thursday's overly active, but I do think it's plausible that we have a very big range of temperature in the afternoon because of the way this front works in. So that front lays down a lot of cold air. And because of that, this is really cool. I would never be able to do this like on just a traditional broadcast, but I'm going to scrub the radar, simulated radar, back and forth, Friday pre-dawn into Friday morning. So this is like Thursday night into Friday morning. And this is fascinating because the forecast model here is seeing that there's a cold air in southern Maine, and watch how the pink hues, the mixed precip, starts to interact with that cold air as we head into Friday morning, and the precip type changes to snow in southern Maine on Friday morning. That's just really cool to see when you put all of the pieces of the puzzle down and see it play out like that. But the precip type Friday morning will also hinge on how strong that cold front is coming in from the north. So it's plausible, I think, still that there could be a couple of different types of precip into Friday morning, where it could be a snow and it also could be a little freezing rain chance. That'll be something to iron out after we get through tonight's snow, so I'm not overly getting into the weeds there.